Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. This is another live episode of Matter of Opinions. It's your girl, Des.
It's your boy Bamboo.
you,
It's not
you
gonna get no better. I'm
said,
just
you
until I
just,
practice it and come up. I mean, I don't want you to act like your shit is, you
I
know what I'm
didn't say
saying,
that. I don't even
full of
say,
excitement. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
I
even
mean,
say
the
anything
whole
anymore.
from the beginning of the whole thing, we've been saying, yo, we got to work on our intro. We
We
got to
did.
work on our intro. And I mean, man, it is what it is, man. Fuck the bullshit. You know
It
what I
is going to
mean?
be what it's going to be.
It's gonna be what it's gonna goddamn it be. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, ah, boy, long
Mm.
day, long day, productive day though. You know what I mean? I'm working on my bike and shit, getting shit done for when I go on vacation where I could just ride, where I don't have to work on shit. You know what I mean?
That's smart.
Yeah,
It
I don't
has
know
been a
where.
long day.
Yeah, everything I with you over there.
Yeah, I'm just exhausted. You know, when you're sick, it takes a toll on your body physically, mentally, emotionally, because I haven't been able to be as productive as I would like because I'm, resting.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out why this is saying no data on the live. I mean, it's showing fine. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it and leave it in God's hand. But yeah, so I haven't been able to be as productive, and there's so much to get done and so little time to do it in. And now that I'm going back to work tomorrow, like I feel like, you know how like I feel like I got days worth of Mondays piled on top of each other for me to like get back to. So it's like I feel like it's gonna take me a week just to kind of get caught up, and it's just going to be a constant catch up, catch up, catch up, catch up. And then depending on how the rest of this week goes and how much more work gets piled on top, So anyway, it's just the vicious cycle of the rat race.
Man, shit, I just can't wait for this fucking week to get over with. You know what I'm saying? So I could, cause next week I got a nice 4 day weekend, and then the week following that I'm on vacation. So I just can't wait for this week to get over with, so I can get started on next week. You know what I mean?
Then I'm planning, my child's birthday party. She says she wants a tea party, so I've been planning a tea party.
And good luck
And
with that, man. I do not miss those days. I do not.
yeah, I mean, it'll be fun while it's happening, but the preparation and then,
I don't
my
miss
daughter
those
is my
days.
child, so she makes friends all over the place, and she's just been inviting new people along the way. So it's been interesting. Um, you know, if they come, the more the merrier. And it's just been just going with the flow, constant changes. So yeah.
My parties have always been limited. Like, stop inviting all these goddamn people.
It's not at the
Yeah,
house, so
I wouldn't
I ain't
give a
sweating it.
good rat's
Mm-mm.
ass if it was at a park.
That's
Stop
exactly
inviting
where it's
all
gonna
these
be.
people because that means I gotta buy more goddamn cake, more goddamn chips, more Capri Suns, and y'all, nah, fuck all that.
Well,
And
see,
then
I
you always got
always
that kid.
overbuy, so it's always enough because whatever I pass out the stuff to the homeless, and I'm extra heavy handed on the serving portions and sizes anyway. So there's literally the more the merrier.
Nah, fuck that.
So it's
Like,
not a few people is not going to make a change in the amount of food. The difference in this particular case would be the place settings because it is a tea party. But other than that, nothing else is. I don't have to change any quantities. So, but
nah, that
anywho,
definitely be a no for me. But anyway,
one
yo,
of so last week we was talking about we're not gonna dive into that today. So don't, and when I say don't, because every time I say don't, you start talking about it. So we're not gonna do that today. But I just wanted to point out that we have to wait until a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for that topic of, you know, being black enough, white enough, whatever. So we're not, you know, just keep that in mind, that anything related to that, we're just gonna table it and save it so that Brianna will be able to be a part of the conversation, especially because it was, you know, her request that we dive deeper into that. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you something. You never. I'm joking. I'm just joking. Just joking.
You get on my nerve.
I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you. Whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa, whoa.
What? What? What?
I'm gonna tell you what I want to talk about for a brief second. Just a brief second.
Mm-hmm.
So I was scrolling as usual on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and they was talking about this girl that went to an interview
Mm-hmm.
in a pair of shorts and a it was like a shirt, not t-shirt, but it wasn't interview attire.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, "Oh, the interviewer was wrong," da 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 da, because the interviewer, in my opinion, was 100% correct. Like, this is a job interview. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess he was asking her, "Are you sure you don't want to go change your clothing? Because, it's not interview attire. You know what I mean? I need you to go
This is
change."
what the interviewer asked her.
Yeah, he told her, "You sure you don't want to change your clothes? Because, like, this isn't interview attire." You know what I mean? And, I think that you should come to the interview more appropriately dressed.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you got to remember, you got to always put your best foot forward
Right.
before you get the job. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Now, after you get the job and you get there and you see that, people are dressed, a certain way, then you could dress that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't give a damn, and I don't give a damn
Mm-hmm.
if you was going to an interview at an ice cream parlor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Sweatpants, shorts, and all of that is not interview attire.
Right.
You got to always put your best foot forward. I seen two girls that I know that just graduated high school, and they were actually going to um Gopher ice cream spot,
Mm-hmm.
and they had on like tight booty shorts and all this shit. And I said, "Yo, y'all, first of all, you never go to an interview with a friend. That's number one. Number
Mm-hmm.
two, you never go to an interview dressed the way you guys are dressed. Like, it's so inappropriate. Like, nobody should see the black on the crease of your ass, and nobody should be seeing, what I'm saying, camel toe, during the interview. You know what I mean? So, people got to learn to start going to goddamn interviews properly. You know
Right.
what I mean? Dress properly, dress appropriate, and always remember, put on your interview face, man, and put your best foot forward. Because if not, if you come to my place of business
Mm-hmm.
and you walk in the way I don't want you to walk in,
Mm-hmm.
automatically, man, this interview is over before it even started. You know what I mean? So
So
that
would you
that's it.
just say they walk in, you tell them have a nice day?
Oh, I just look at them. With me personally, because nowadays we got to worry so much about HR and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And how you talk to people, sexual harassment, and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably just look at them and be like, yeah, yeah, you're gonna have to reschedule this interview because you are not properly dressed, and yeah, you're gonna have to reschedule. You know what I mean? Because absolutely not.
Okay, so while I agree, I do believe that, you gotta dress for success. And you also you just need to, like, you look better, you feel better, you look good, you feel good, all that good stuff. Um People, and it doesn't matter, like, I don't care if you're going for a McDonald's job interview. If you felt like it was worth your time applying and going to the interview, take the time into putting yourself together. I'm not saying that you're supposed to go with all this high end clothes going to no McDonald's job interview, but you should wear, a nice button up shirt or blouse or whatever, not showing all this cleavage, nice fitted slacks, if a long skirt, if you want to wear a skirt or an appropriate dress, but like everything should be, you know, to par. And
Appropriate.
you don't have to spend all this crazy money. But if you feel like, oh, well, it's just this, it's just that, well, bitch, you just applied. So dress appropriately. Because not for nothing, like, my thing is this: when people go to places, especially like job fairs, like that's like so cringe when they do like on the spot interviews and this and that. And you have people coming in and they got sneakers on, they got, jeans with rips in them and all kind of stuff. And I get that like people struggle, right? But you didn't have just a plain polo shirt. You didn't just a plain polo shirt. And if you had to wear jeans because you didn't have nothing else, you don't have just all black jeans, or like try to clean it up, like, and not sneakers. You didn't have like, I mean, they got shoes at Walmart, like those little loafer looking shoes. You know what I'm talking about? Those like work, whatever. You like, you can just try a little bit and just, people will see the effort. Because I feel like when people don't dress that way, like I feel like I already know the type of quality of work you're going to provide. You didn't even put work and effort into yourself. What makes me think you're going to put work and effort into this business or into this position, into this role? So,
You know, what kills me. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I said I was gonna spend a brief second on it. But what kills me is you want the position, right? And it's nothing. It's nothing to put on a pair of khakis.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? A nice pair of shoes or some whatever. The button up or whatever. A polo shirt,
mm-hmm,
whatever. But come dressed like you want to talk to me. And
mm-hmm.
the people that I respect are the people that start the interview off and be like, I know I'm not dressed appropriately, but it's a struggle for me right now. And this is
Give a
actually
little
all.
intro for
Yeah,
sure.
this is this is
100%.
this is all I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I would just hope that you would judge me based on my character and not my attire, because as
This is my
as the
best. I'm trying
yeah,
right now.
as the position progress and I start to earn income, I will change up a little bit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But honesty and communication goes a long way in this
Right.
particular situation. But when I was in high school, there was a class called YEEP,
Mm-hmm.
Young Employment Something Program, enhanced program, whatever. It was Miss Francine Taylor. And when I tell you, I have never went for a job that I did not get.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I have never went for it. Every time I left a job, I had a feeling of employment. Like, I swear to God, every time I left a job, I was like, yo, I got that job. I nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because, I've always gone in and given my best. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I've always gone with, proper attire.
Mm-hmm.
But, and that kind of fits in on our conversation tonight. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share at any chance that you get.
A hundred
But
percent.
it kind of fits into our conversation because, you know, we as parents, we got to do a better job with our kids.
Right.
We have to do a better job. I mean, starting with the lion and letting them, feel like, oh well, they're entitled. You
Right.
know what I mean? We have to do a better job with our kids. So with that said, I'm done
I'm
with my
gonna
rant.
read into the comment.
Go ahead and do your thing.
Okay. So
Sean, if
Chris,
you get a chance, just pull that pic up for me of that woman.
I
And
didn't even see that video.
oh, she was it. Well,
I mean, I've seen
if
crazy stuff. Like I seen people pants sagging, like dudes with their whole
oh
butt cheeks out, like
if I
like
see the crack of
terrible,
your
terrible.
if I see the crack of your ass, don't
I'm
even
like,
fill out the fucking application. Don't sit down at my goddamn computer filling out this goddamn application. I don't give a fuck
what if they
if
did
you.
it online before they got there?
I
So no,
wouldn't
they
give
don't
a
have to sit
fuck
down at your
if you was
computer.
filling out an application for Royal Flush Porta Potty. Do not bring your fucking ass to my job for an interview, and I gotta look at the crack of your ass. I
You seen
promise
this
you.
video on TikTok or where was it so he can find it?
It was on TikTok. It was spreading, but mainly on TikTok. That this type of inappropriate interview or something like that, and
Okay.
it was
So while
crazy.
he
But
pull that up,
yeah,
I'm gonna jump into the comments. Crystal says the attire was inappropriate. Michelle says, hi, Des. Hi, Bamboo. Hey, Michelle.
hey Mish.
Crystal also says, first impression, I interviewed this girl on video and she looked like she rolled out of bed. That interview was over before it started. And I think people get comfortable with virtual interviews and think that they have to put in less effort. To be honest, for me personally, I feel like with video interviews, virtual interviews, you have to put in more effort because it's now is focused solely on that little screen and what you look like. So now they're looking at stuff that they probably wouldn't have focused on as much if it was in person because it's other stuff to look at. It's your whole person versus this box here, you know? So now your nails, like as soon as you raise your hand, if you look like you got mechanic oil and grease and mechanic hands and stuff like that, that's disgusting. Wash those hands, wash your face, put lotion on, you know, moisturize, fix your hair, all those little flyaway frizzes, all of that stuff shows with the lighting and the camera.
And
if you got a terrible background, looking ghetto, you know, you ain't even make your bed. And I'm not saying you're supposed to have this green screen or whatever the case may be, but if your room has to be your background, I get it. We all got to make stuff work. Things is tight. I ain't got an office. My bedroom is my office. Make up your bed in the background. If you got pillows, put it, you know, or angle the camera so that it's not, you ain't got to do too much, but you got to put effort.
Find a fucking corner in your house, clean the goddamn corner, and interview in that fucking corner.
And put light on. Don't be looking like you in a cave somewhere.
Stop walking around the goddamn house.
On the interview, like you FaceTime and talking about, doing dishes and stuff. Yeah. You know, hold on. I was digging, let me dig in my bag. No, have your resume out on the table, ready to go. You know, like take this serious.
Give these people an appropriate interview. Let these people feel like you somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's bad enough you ain't even spend no gas to come and see me. You ain't had to fight no traffic. You ain't had to spend no goddamn gas to come see me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm saying.
Don't be eating on the interview.
Well, I eat on this podcast all the time.
No, I said on the interview.
Yeah.
This is not an interview. Don't be eating on the interview.
And
put your phone on silent. You know, like
cut all the goofy shit. Have your baby daddy take your fucking kid so your kid ain't bouncing around and you got to be like, well, hold on, let me just tend to Stefan or whoever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, get your shit together. Like, yo, be prepared to interview. Because I promise you, if I got to interview you, I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you the fucking red button. And when you call back, talk about, oh, we got disconnected. No, bitch, I disconnected. There is no we got disconnected. I disconnected. I should not have to get on a motherfucking interview and look at you in your fucking bonnet because you too lazy
to
fucking do a fucking ponytail or something. Listen,
anything.
I'm telling you, y'all, you motherfuckers is getting lucky because y'all getting the right people that's giving y'all a second chance. Me personally, I promise you, I'm giving you the red button and I'm blocking you. I'm blocking you. So this way, when you come in, because now you gotta come in. Now I could give you my opinion face to goddamn face.
You know what?
Now, I'm dead eyed. You ain't gonna do me like that. Thank God. But go ahead, man. I apologize.
So Travis says, I agree with everything. How do you feel if the interview is virtual? By the way, what up, guys? Hey, Big Trav. So another thing too that I feel like, all right, so at one point, like, it's like, okay, you could be business up top, party on the bottom, right? Because they could only see what they can see. But I always say, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Because suppose you need to stand up, like, I don't know, something happened or
this, I'll be damned. And I'm more upset that this was a person of color and you know, somebody didn't give her a heads up. I really am.
But like,
you think that's appropriate, Dad?
It's not appropriate. So here's the thing. Those shorts, I can't really 100% see it clear. I don't know if those are considered business shorts or if those are just shorts and she made them. Because you know how they do have like shorts that go with the suit, the blazers and all that, whatever. It looks tacky. The shirt is like just a t-shirt. And don't get me wrong, I rock t-shirts, but I'm not going to wear one to an interview. I'm going to wear a blouse. I'm going to wear, it's just given. you
that
know.
outfit was
But I've
given.
seen worse. I've seen
I,
worse,
I have.
unfortunately.
I have. That outfit was given. I'm going to meet my boyfriend's parents for the first time.
Oh no, baby. Well, you must don't like him
Oh
very
yeah.
much because I'm not
Oh yeah.
meeting the
And,
in-laws in
and
that
and
either.
and I'm going to the picnic and I'm gonna meet him at the first time. I ain't trying to put on, my kente cloth or none of that. I'm just putting on some regular shit. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you, man, we gotta. I keep telling y'all, man, we gotta do better. We
Mm-hmm.
have to
Mm-hmm.
do better. But let's
Right.
get into these comments
So
right quick, and
Michelle says,
don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You know what I mean?
and tell a
That's
friend to tell a friend
important.
to tell a friend to tell
Tell a
a
friend to tell a
friend.
friend, and tell him to whisper to somebody else.
Right. So Michelle says, I think the younger generation needs to hear this the most. Very true. The thing is, absolutely. I feel like a lot of people surprisingly don't know like proper etiquette, and then they turn around and they having kids, and then they're not teaching their kids because they don't know. So then you got the blind leading the blind. Don't everybody showing up to the interview ghetto, like just,
Yeah,
and
but
then some of them haven't interviewed in so long, like not for nothing. I know so many people like they've been at, their grocery store job or, Walmart jobs or wherever for so long, they haven't had to do it. And things were totally different when they were interviewing versus now. Like come to the interview with questions. Don't ever, if I could give you any interviewing tips, do not like dress to impress, number one. Number two, never not have any questions when they ask at the end of the interview. Do you have any questions? Never sit there and be like, nope, don't have any questions. It Think of a question. Think about the interview, right? Just to, even if it's just clarify something. Tell me, how is the work environment? How is the team? What do you guys do for engagement to, help morale? Ask a question so that it shows that you were listening, you were paying attention, you came prepared. And if they already answered the question that you had during the interview, but you better be thinking during the interview, what question can I ask? Ask something. Never not ask a question. That's one of the biggest turnoffs that companies have, is when your ass does not have a question for them. It's a negative. Just think of a question.
what
So
happened? What happened to that when you got dressed for an interview? That you had walked up to a parent, you had called a friend, and you said, "Girl, what you think about this interview?" Or, "My man, what you think about this interview outfit I got going on? You think they gonna like it?"
mhm.
Listen, as a parent, and trust me, I promise you, and I'm not, you know, making this shit up because of this podcast tonight.
Right.
I'm promise you, my son went for an interview 3 weeks ago, maybe four, and he came downstairs and his shirt was wrinkled.
No,
And I
iron
said,
that thing.
I said, my nigga, I said, put some steam on that. Let these people know that you interested in this job, and at least you know that you got to present yourself. So he
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, I really ain't gotten. I said, man, first of all, take them goddamn sneakers off. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Put your funeral shoes on and put your funeral slacks on. Everybody got the
Just slacks and shoes.
nah. Put your funeral shoes. Everybody got an outfit that you go to funerals in.
And
I got
wait, because remember we did an episode about that where some people don't know how to dress to the funerals either. So
yeah.
use that
Well, no.
loosely. Just start describing. Just be more descriptive about what you're talking about, because
Well,
everybody funeral attire is not
I
still
didn't
ain't
have
it.
to. I didn't have to really get specific with him because
He
put
knows, yeah.
he know the funeral outfit that we normally put on. You know what I mean? After every funeral, I take it to the cleaners because I don't want it to get to smell like the last funeral. You know what I'm saying? So when I tell him put the funeral slacks on, put the funeral shoes on, and put that shirt on, and
Mm-hmm.
go talk to these people. And I had to give him a simulation of
Mm-hmm.
what it was like to have an interview. So
Right. Mock interviews.
I'm gonna ask you a series of questions,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't like them, I'm gonna stop you right then and there. You feel me? So I gave
Mm-hmm.
him a mock up interview, of a simulation of what it was gonna be like. And as a parent, man, you got to do this shit, man. Especially especially because the market is so broad out there right now. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? We got people out there. We got migrants trying to work for less. So I mean, shit, hell yeah, I hired a motherfucker for $7 that came clean than a motherfucker that can't want 17 and nigga ain't put an iron to the shirt. Hell yeah. Fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
Another thing too is when thinking of answering the question, this is another tip, and then I'm gonna read into the comments again. When they're asking you a question, or like they'll tell me about a time when a customer was difficult and what, whatever, just they come up with these questions. Don't just rush in to answer just so you sound like you're quick and you just throwing out stuff. Take a minute. Take a second to pause and think about the question. Think about your answer, so you're not
You ain't just gobbling
the
and
whole time.
I'm
Take your
saying, you know what I
time
mean? What the
and
fuck?
communicate. Oh my god, that's the worst thing. That extra slang stuff. That I don't know what you mean, and that's why I'm asking these questions. Like or you feel me? All of that. No, leave that at home. Leave that at home. Don't even bring that. Don't even bring it here. But if you need to take a second, you say, that was a very good question. Give me a second to recall, or let me think on that for a second. It's okay to pause. It's normal to pause. You sound better when you ask for a second to get your thoughts together and then present it, than just stumbling and fumbling through the whole trying to figure out what the hell you thinking of shit as it's just rolling out, and just, now you done did a whole word vomit and then still didn't answer the question. And if you don't understand the question, it's okay to say, oh, I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you repeat the question, or can you ask the question in a different way? It's okay to ask for clarification. So these are all just little tips. It's okay.
Don't hit him with a Donald Trump answer. You know what I'm saying? You went all around the world and and shit.
And then never answer it.
And never answer the question. But we're going to get into these
So,
comments. But at
okay,
this time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You know what I mean? And
tell a friend,
subscribe,
tell a friend, to tell a
subscribe,
friend,
and
to tell a
subscribe.
friend.
Tell a friend to whisper to another friend.
So Ashley says, Moosters, babes. Hey, Ash. Valerie says, I had a client show up virtual on the toilet, and immediately no, absolutely not, because now we got sexual harassment going on. Because if you doing this on an interview, you're gonna cost this company money, because the shit that you're gonna do after the fact, we not even gonna play with this. This ain't gonna work. And don't ask why. You know why. This is just not gonna work.
Red button. That's why they invented it. Red button.
Michelle says, ha, Valerie, no way, girl. Ashley says, I seen that TikTok. Listen, baby, no way she thought this was how you show up to the bag. And from the little clip that I just saw just now, you could tell she was serious, because she created a whole post about it, looking for people to validate her. And I mean, constructive criticism.
And probably hopefully it works. People probably wanted to get in a lawsuit.
Talking about discrimination and stuff is crazy. Crystal says that's 20 years and this is all good advice. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna tell you nothing that's gonna steer you wrong, Travis says you are 100% correct. Ask questions. I work in HR. You will get disqualified as soon as you don't ask questions. Trust me. It shows that you prepared for this interview. Also, another tip is go look into the company you applied for. I don't care if it's McDonald's. I don't care if it's Goodwill, wherever the case. Go look at their About Me section on their website. Go look at their mission statement. And then when you are on the interview, talk to the effect of how you align with them and their goals and their mission and whatever, like how your position and you as a candidate will be a good fit for their vision. Like, look at this stuff and they'll know, like, you use a few keywords within their mission statement or their vision. Come on. I'm telling you, I promise you, I got you. Try it and you got it. I promise you.
As usual, that's done went too goddamn far.
That's not too far. That's what I do on all my interviews. You crazy? I be like this. I be telling the people more about the company than they know.
On an interview at the McDonald's, just make sure your attire is proper.
Listen, because the thing is, you don't want to stay as the fry flipper or
you ain't got to know how much. You ain't got to know how much salt you got to sprinkle on the fries. You learn that during training.
Listen, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but if you know, I mean, I'm not saying that this is true. I don't know where McDonald's get their product from or whatever. But if you know that, McDonald's has been trying to lower their emissions gas by, shipping their products with electric trucks instead of diesel trucks. And so, I think that's a great move, whatever, because here's the thing. When a position opens up that's higher up, they're going to think about your ass. You know why? Because this nigga done did his research, or chick done did her research, and they show that they have the ability for leadership, and therefore you know what? Hey, a supervisor spot is opening up. I think you should apply for it. I think you should go for it. I think you're ready. I think you'll be a good fit. Why? Because you were impressed them and knocked the socks off them for your entry level position because you needed to get in the door. And sometimes you got to start at the bottom and you work up. I started at the bottom of many companies and worked up so far and so fast. Why? Because I came with my shit together. But anyway, that's just me. I'm extra.
I'm not gonna over interview.
You don't got to over interview.
I'm not gonna over interview. It depends on the job. If I'm going to Burlington, I'm not doing no researches on their hangers. I don't give a fuck where they get them from.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? If I go to McDonald's, I don't give a fuck if that's horse meat. I don't give a fuck.
Well, then say, I know McDonald's got that horse stuff going on, but hey, y'all using organic vegan stuff, and I stand by that, But anyway. Yeah. That's me. I'm going to do me every time and I get the job done right very well. And I leave no crumbs left on the table. People tell me constantly they enjoy my interviews. Okay. So anyway, it's whatever. So Valerie says, yes, Misha. Michelle says Valerie is very disappointed. It is. And I hate to say this, but it's like, I ain't even gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
People of color.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. We're giving good tips. We're giving tips.
Leave it alone.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna say. I'm giving tips. I don't know
why they feel like they entitled to the goddamn job. You ain't entitled. There's 15 other people. And listen, when you walk out when you sitting at that table, and they sit and say, "Well, I got a couple of more people to interview, but we'll be in touch." Just keep looking for a job because you're done. It's not you. You didn't hit none of their key points. Just keep looking. Don't call your boy and be like, "Yo, I think I nailed that shit." Well, what they tell you? They told me that they're gonna call me. No,
and
nigga.
Also, another tip. This is a big one. Before you do your interview, also relook at your resume, right? Especially if you wasn't 100% honest up there. You gotta remember the lies you done told, right? So look at your resume. Have your list of references already ready because if they didn't ask for them already, you need to have it all lined up, who the person was, which company you work for them with, their contact information. And if you done lied about them being your supervisor before and they ain't never been your supervisor, I hope you done already talked to them about what position they done played in your life or whatever the case may be for this reference. And then look at the job posting again, cross-reference it. And if you didn't already before you apply, if you're applying for jobs right now, make sure that the keywords that's in that job posting is also included in your resume because they're using AI now because they're getting flagged with so many resumes. They cannot review every resume. If you want yours to be one of the ones that get popped up and put in front of the recruiter, you need to have your resume matching some keywords that's in the job post and the job description. And then you also want to, when you're talking about the things that you've done before, list when they say they want somebody with good customer service. Maybe your job was only McDonald's. That's the only history you have. That's customer service. You go ahead and you talk about how, you had to handle an irate customer. You just talk about those things and make sure you mention it. So that way you're discussing the things that are meeting their bullet points for what the job requirements are, showing how you hit those, period. So anywho.
And do not use the same lies you and your cousin Ken use for the PPP loan.
I'm done with you. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Valerie is very okay. Ashley says, I'll be honest though, I'd be extremely nervous on interviews, but I will always come dressed to impress, baby. And it's okay to be nervous. It's okay. But don't be over nervous that you you just fumble. But it's okay to be nervous. Like, it's a goal. It's something new, something you want. You're sitting here on display being questioned by somebody you don't know, especially if it's a panel interview. So that's totally normal. But as long as you come prepared and ready, they'll look past the nervousness and you'll start to get comfortable and ease into it and get less nervous towards the end of the interview. If you're bombing the interview, meaning you're not doing a good job, you're probably going to get even more nervous and, whatever. But as you ease into it, it generally just gets better. But anyway, Michelle says, preach to the desk. That was a gem. Look into the company. Travis says, Des, what do you do for work? Because these are huge points. So I've Sean refers to me as the Swiss Army knife because I have touched so many different industries. I actually, before COVID, was working on my human resource degree online, but then I had my baby, and then COVID happened, and then I had my postpartum depression again, and all this and that. So I tabled that. But I also was the assistant director. So I did a lot of interviewing and stuff for people, and I would give people tips. Like if I knew they weren't going to get it, I would just like help them out. And just again, being in various different industries, I seen a lot, been around a lot, know a lot, and I'm a perfectionist. So I try to always improve and get better. I watch videos on how to be better at interviewing, how to be better at whatever it is that I want to do. And so, boom, Big Trav. That's how. So anyway, okay. Michelle says, Bamboo, stop it. You know what she means. Do your homework. He always be trying to drag me, but it's okay. It's okay. The message is out there for somebody that's gonna hit. And I promise you, if they use the tips that's thrown out, if they use the tips, they will get a job. They will get a job. Not every job is for you. And keep that in mind, is that sometimes, and this is not, I'm not about to have a whole like religious sermon. We already had that on Sunday. But sometimes when you're told no for a job, or any opportunity, is because that opportunity wasn't for you. God blocked that for some reason. So that's not for you. Don't harbor onto it. Don't get hung up about it. It's okay to be disappointed. Okay, you pick up, you do better, on to the next. And in all of these interviews you could be going on could be preparing you for the greatest one, for the job that is for you. And also keep in mind, because I'm an entrepreneur, I do have a degree in entrepreneurship as well. And so sometimes your own business is the business for you. So, just keep all doors open. Don't get discouraged. What's for you is for you, and can't nobody stop it from happening. If it was blocked for you, it was never yours to begin with. So with that being said, Michelle says, get it, girl. With that being said, I think we should move into the next thing.
Our topic.
Yes.
Should you lie to your kids?
Right. Now, there was a post on social media of this mom, right? So she has a toddler, and she said her toddler is 4 years old and in preschool, and her toddler hates going to school. She said he hates going to school. So what she did was, he had started acting up, and she needed a way to get him to go into school without problems. So she told him, hey, listen, if you go to school for 5 days straight without giving me fights, problems, or whatever, I'll give you 2 days off every week. So I'll give you 2 days off a week. So on the weekend, where he thinks she's giving it off, Saturday and Sunday, we already have off. He's thinking that his mom gave him those days because he didn't give her problems with going to school at drop off. So he think all his other classmates is going to school on the weekends, and sis been able to drop him off with no problem. So do you feel like something like that is okay because it's a small lie, or like even lies as such as Christmas, or lies as big as like just, what scale do you think it is okay, if any, to lie to your kid?
All scales. All scales. I don't owe no kid no explanation. She fucked up when she told him that she started off with a lie. Motherfucker, you going to school because that's where I'm putting you. What the fuck you mean? This is where you at. And if you show your ass in this class, Lord Jesus is Lord. Man, I'm telling you. Listen, man, we got a bad habit of feeling like our kids is entitled to know their side of the truth or their side of the story. They're not. They're not entitled to know shit. Mm-hmm. You're entitled to know exactly what I want you to know. That's it. I'm not going through all this rigmarole about Santa. I'm not going through all this rigmarole about the baby Jesus. You're gonna know what I want you to know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not going through all that. You think I'm not gonna lie to the kid. You know what I'm saying? Because then I gotta come back with another lie. What this woman gonna find? What's she gonna do when these kids find out?
Oh, he gonna turn it. So it's gonna work now, and it's genius now. But baby, later when he find out like I was good for no reason, you mean to tell me I already had this and I ain't earned nothing?
Oh no, there was a reason. There was a reason. You wanted to keep that belt off your ass. There's a reason.
Listen,
I do not lie to my. I don't lie to
as a
nobody. Kid.
parent, we do what we got to do, right? Sometimes it be hard and you just listen, you just got to do what works. So I try my best not to lie to my kids in terms of like just the everyday stuff. Like, oh, well, mom, am I gonna, can I, is this gonna, no, you're going to do this. You're not gonna like it. That's okay. But it's going to happen. You're going to go. And then this is what's gonna happen next, whether they want to hear it or not. I'm letting them know what the expectation is. And then I also let them know what the consequence is. I'm also letting you know what we're not going to do is this, because if you do, then this will happen. And so my son had to learn only one time the hard way in class. He got in that class and boy, he gave, cause he was in, this was last year. So 3 years old, and he gave the two teachers, two older ladies, he gave them a run for their money that day because he's stubborn. And he wore them out that day. And so at pickup, I came and they were giving me the update, and I told him to apologize because he didn't even want to put up his nap roll. He decided he didn't want to put his book bag on, he's like, no. So I come back there and I go, I tell him to pick up all his stuff. So he does. And then I said, okay, now you apologize to his teacher, to both your teachers. Baby, that man did not want to apologize. You hear me? Did not want to apologize. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you again, or we're going to go into that bathroom and you're going to apologize before we leave this building. So you can either do it with a sore butt or you could do it just now and then, just lose out on a snack or something. He thought it was going to go the way he thought it was going to go. Okay. We left, came back, and baby was apologizing. We ain't have any trouble since. I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, well, I don't know, whatever, something I could have made up. No. I'm going to keep it real. You're going to know everything to expect, everything that's coming your way, because I want you to make an informed decision as much as reasonably possible for your little 3-year-old brain. But I want you to know that this is not okay. And we're not doing this again. We're not playing that game.
This is why. And not, what I'm saying, jumping on your situation, but this is why it is important that parents stay on the same fucking page. Mm-hmm. All that wait till your father get home shit, abso-fucking-lutely not. If you need to tear that ass up, tear that ass up. Listen. And then when I get there, just save something for me because I want to tear that ass up too.
No, you're not gonna get two spankings for the same.
No, God,
not for the same
God,
thing.
Yes. God, you're gonna listen. Let me tell you something, and I promise you,
that's double jeopardy. You want to go to jail twice for the same crime?
It's not double jeopardy.
They were already punished. If you weren't ready to dole out the full punishment, then don't dish it out. Don't dish it out.
You upset your mama, and she took care of you. Now I'm upset.
But that's the problem. You're not supposed to be disciplining because you're upset. You're supposed to be disciplining because of the behavior. You're trying to correct the wrong behavior.
You're supposed to be disciplined because you fucking know better. You know what I'm saying? And fathers, this is why it's important that you stay in your children's lives, especially your little young boys. It's important you stay in their life.
Yeah, but you're not doing it because of your emotion. You should be doing it because of the behavior was wrong, right? So you're correcting the behavior, not because you're angry.
I'm correcting that ass.
All right, but if they already got it corrected, why are they getting another spanking for the same exact thing that they just got a spanking for? Unless it was a repeat thing later. But for something, if they, let's say, yelled at their teacher in school and then they get home, mom disciplined them. So now you get home because you get home later than mom. You get home, you discipline them again for this. That's not okay.
I'm gonna keep it 100. This ain't my suit. This ain't one of my favorite topics because I've never had those problems. Never. My kids know from off the rip. I don't play them fucking games. And listen, man. Ooh, Jesus is Lord. I don't play them games, man. Absolutely not. You're gonna behave because I said to behave. I'm not gonna lie to you about nothing. I'm not sending myself my soul to hell because it might upset you. I'm not doing that. You're going to do what I want you to do, especially as a child. You're going to do what I want you to do. Point blank, period. Because you represent me when you walk out of here. And I'm not going and I'm not going to steer you wrong. If I tell you you need to do something, then you need to fucking do it.
See, for me, I also feel like I want my kids to trust me, not just do something because I asked them to do it specifically per se. In certain situations, I tell them if it's an emergency or if it's urgent, like there is no debate about it. But I like to have a dialogue so that they understand why we got here or how, like the process behind it. So then they build their confidence in my decision making. So they'll know like, oh, okay, well, mommy said this because this, or they're able to like process it and make their own cognitive. And then they're making the mistake less often because now they understand the why. It's not just because I told you to do so, because I said so. It's, oh, okay. Mom said, don't touch the stove because the stove is hot. That's why, not just mom said, don't touch the stove because she said so. It sticks more if they have the why. I feel like personally,
absolutely not.
That's my opinion.
Absolutely not. Listen, because I instead of why, I already know why you shouldn't be touching it.
Right, but you need them to understand. Hold on. You need them to understand. They're learning.
Hold on. Let's talk about these letters. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about these letters. You don't need to know why, because I fucking said so.
Like I hated that growing up. I hated that because I said so.
But look at the
with no logic.
Look at the person you've become because of it.
No, it's not. Actually, it's not. I didn't. I learned. I became how I am because I read. I read books and I read everything that I could get my hands on. I would read. And so I would understand, oh, this is why. Because that when I tell you with everything in my soul, I couldn't stand. And it would happen all the time because the generation before, they just felt like just because you don't have any feelings, you don't have any thoughts, you don't have any opinions. And that's not okay because we're human. We have all of the above. That's what makes us human. So if my job is to prepare my child to be a cognitive thinker, to be able to process things and be a good decision maker on their own, I have to give them the building blocks for that. So for me, I'm giving you the whys and the pieces now so you can start putting pieces together now. So if you're able to start doing that now, you'll be an expert at more challenging things later on because you've been given the building blocks, not you've been given instructions. Like you're like, I'm not teaching my kids to be a worker. I'm teaching them to be a business owner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of logic that I'm thinking of. If I'm just giving you this and just saying, do this, that's what these school systems are teaching us to be workers. They don't want us to be free thinkers and to understand and think beyond this is the order. We just do this and that's it. That's just a blind sheep just doing.
I can still do that. I can still do that and be a parent at the same time. If I tell you not to touch that stove, right? And you decide to touch that stove, right? I know why you shouldn't touch the stove.
So what's so hard with explaining to your child why they shouldn't touch the stove?
Because you're not owed an explanation. Because I told you not to touch it. Now you go touch the fucking stove. Now we gotta go sit in the fucking hospital. Fuck out of here. Hell no.
So you don't think
listen. I tell you not to do something, you don't fucking do it. Point blank, period. You could choose your choice, but you ain't gonna choose your consequence. I promise you that. If I say don't fucking do it, I mean don't fucking do it. And it's probably because I've been through what you about to go through. I've touched the stove that was hot. And it's my job as your dad to be your fucking protector. Now, since when do I have to explain protecting my child? No, do what the fuck I say do, and you'll be fine. Once you become 18 and you can sit in that goddamn hospital or that jailhouse by your goddamn self, then you can ask me why.
But see, that's the thing. It's like you're not just trying to just get them to 18. Don't you want them to be able to have a successful life? Like you don't just. But here's the thing: if you've never been given the whys behind, and so they never had to think for themselves. If they've never had to think for themselves at 18, they're just supposed to just know how to just think for themselves. So then when they're doing dumb shit, you like, why are you what? Why would you do something like that? Well, I mean, why not? What else was they supposed to do?
Once you turn a certain age and you decide that you're going to try your own shit, it's my job again to let you know that is not a good fucking idea.
But do you explain why it's not a good idea?
At that age, I might give you a why, because this is why you shouldn't.
You said at what age? What age?
At that age, when you done became 12, 13, maybe 14, I might give you a why. But until then, ain't no fucking kid questioning me why.
But the child develops the most. Developed from you should zero, like literally from the start of life up through 12. That you learn the most that you're going to learn in your entire life during that short time frame. Well, so why not provide them the skills when their brain is ready to absorb it all?
That's your generation.
It's not our generation. That's literally a fact. It's a fact.
It's not a fact.
Okay.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact. Like we've already discussed this before. Your generation raised serial killers. Our generation, our kids don't do goofy shit like that.
Our generation raised serial killers?
Yes, y'all serial killers. Y'all generation's a serial killer. Y'all raising serial killers. Y'all don't know what the fuck y'all want to do with yourselves because y'all got this little timeout thing. And no, Tucker, you shouldn't do that because no. I'm just going to look at you and be like, don't fucking do that. And I'm not giving you an explanation why. I'm just telling you don't fucking do it.
So if the government tells you don't fucking do it and they're not going to tell you why, that's okay?
Listen, hold on.
Is that okay? Yes or no?
The government ain't my motherfucking parent.
I mean...
You fucking retarded? Hey, what do you mean you mean?
I mean...
What the fuck you mean you mean? The government ain't my motherfucking parent.
And so just because you're a parent means you don't have to have a rationale. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay. And the government is a parent of this country. It tells this country what to do. It runs this country. So what are you saying?
I'm a parent. All right. I'm going to tell my child, yo, listen, don't do that shit. And don't let me catch you doing that shit again.
And then you're a parent, but you ask permission to have a license. You ask permission to travel.
I don't ask for permission.
You do by applying for a driver's license. You ask the government permission to drive. By getting your gun permit, you're asking for permission to carry a concealed weapon. By getting a passport, you're asking for permission to travel. So in those terms, the government is your parent. If they tell you you're gonna fucking do something because I said so, and don't ask questions, and I'm not giving you no explanation, are you gonna be okay with that?
Yes.
Are you gonna be okay with that?
If I'm a grown fucking man, what you're talking about is fucking laws. You're talking about laws. It's a law that if you drive without a license, I know the consequence is you're going to jail. I know that. I know it's a law that if you carry a gun without a permit, that you're going to jail. I know that. But ain't nobody got to explain that shit to me.
But somebody did at some point in time have to explain it to you for you to know that was a law.
Yes. Are you serious?
So you just was born knowing laws?
No, listen.
Somebody told you somewhere, somehow.
As you get older, right? Your parent tells you, yo, listen, you can't do that. You can't carry that gun without no permit. You can't do that. You can't go out there on them corners and sell that cocaine. You can't do that because you're breaking the law. Know the difference between the law and me parenting. Listen. I don't owe my children no explanation whatsoever other than I said so. If I provide you with one, then be glad I gave you one. But if I don't, you had better, for the sake of your health, just stick with the fact that I said so.
See, that's the thing. I feel like y'all treat y'all kids like inmates in terms of that, with that logic. Like my kid they didn't ask to be here. It's not a punishment. And so therefore I am going to give them an explanation. I am going to explain to them what's going on, what's going to happen and whatever, because they didn't lose their rights. They're not on punishment just for existing. I'm teaching them lessons. And so therefore I expect them to make mistakes because that's what kids do. And I just adapt and grow. You said it's not what?
It's not a punishment until you.
But you're treating them like. So you're saying if I tell you something,
then
you're not giving any explanation or whatever the case may be because I said so or whatever. That's what the prison guards do to the prisoners. No, it is.
No,
get up, inmate, and when you coming with me, where we going? You'll see when we get there. That's some inmate shit.
Yeah, that's apples and oranges. You're a ward of the state. You're the property of the state once you become prisoner.
But what I'm saying is, the treatment of what you're saying is you're giving them the same treatment that, like you just said, somebody that's a ward of the state would get.
You are the ward of me. What are you talking about?
So you're saying I'm your prisoner. That's what you're saying.
No,
I'm not your property. Just because I'm your child, I'm not. I'm not a property. I'm a person. I'm not a property.
You are my property.
No.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? People are not property.
Because in certain states, the parent can be prosecuted for what the child does.
Right. Okay, but I'm not your property.
I'm not letting you dictate what happens to my fucking family. You're gonna do what the fuck I say do, or we gonna have a problem.
It's just let me read these comments. Let me see what the people are saying.
Because man, you got me hot. I swear to God, I'm hot.
You better wipe that shiny ass head off.
Boy,
in the meantime.
Jesus is Lord.
Valerie says, I think the mom was brilliant. Travis says, LOL, brilliant though. Ashley says, I don't have kids, but I think you shouldn't lie to the children. Travis says, yeah, I be lying for peace sometimes. Some battles lost, but the war is always won. Like, it's just like certain things, for the most part, 9 times out of 10, I'll redirect before I'll tell a lie. Like, that's what I try to do anyway.
Yeah, I'll redirect. I'm gonna whoop your ass in this direction.
Everything ain't, but I'm not saying because it's a problem. I'm just saying my daughter might act like we was listening to we weren't listening. You know how you turn the car on and your Bluetooth automatically connects and then the song it just starts playing. So you know the summertime song, the reggae song. So he was like, summertime in a poom poom. So my daughter was like, Mommy, what's poom poom? So I redirected. I'm not going to lie to her and tell her, oh, it's candy or whatever. But I also didn't feel like having that conversation with my 5-year-old. So I was like, Saturday. Like I just literally redirected and just moving along. So I don't know if somebody would qualify that as a lie. But baby, I'm not. Yeah, like I'm not.
What's a poom poom? That's adult conversation. I don't advise you to use that word.
No, but see, the thing is, I don't want to just say. At some point in time, obviously, I will explain. Like she already knows what vagina is. I just didn't want to in that moment. Like now is not the time.
Poom poom is the same thing as a vagina.
Yeah, no, because then she'll be like, why are they singing? Like, I know my child. Why are they singing that? So why are they singing about vagina? Like, I just, not today, not right now, not in this moment. I forgot we were heading to go do some family fun, something. And baby, you're not about to blow my day. Like, I'm not, because she needs details. She goes, she's 5, but it's like she's older than 5. But anyway, Michelle says overdoing it, bamboo sounds like abuse. That's what
Michelle. Call it what you want.
Valerie says, yes, peace is important. Ashley says, I don't like you should know better for kids. They're always learning. They are. But of course, we can't explain that to certain
not to me
generations.
Yep.
Michelle says, but they didn't learn. They just scared about the belt or the punishment being booed. This is what I'm saying. That's the thing. You don't learn. You're just scared. Fear and learning something is 2 different things.
So
now, can fear teach you something at times? Yes.
Let me ask you a question. All right. What am I going to do to my child that when they get to a certain age and they get arrested, the police isn't going to do? What am I going to do? Because the court system is definitely going to scare the fuck out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Let's just say, man, let's just say I spent some time away from my fucking family.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 18 months away from my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I promise you, the shit that I had to go through, you're going to listen to what the fuck I got to say. I promise you're going to listen.
But sometimes when you're tough, it makes them go the opposite direction that you want them to go in.
Go in that direction. When you get to a certain age, go in that goddamn direction. That's on you. You know what's crazy? I swear to God, and I wish he was on right now. because there was a time when my son had called me because he got 2 boys right now and a girl, and he had called me and he said, Dad, he said, man, I just want to thank you for the upbringing, because now I have to administer the same to my children. All I'm telling you, that's on some real shit. I promise you, the world is going to treat them a lot worse than y'all think I'm treating them. And at this point, I don't really give a fuck what
My thing
nobody
is,
thinks.
I'm not saying that parents can't provide, like, if they want to do tough love, whatever the case may be, I'm not telling them how they should go about that. All that I'm saying for me, how I do things and how Sean does, like how our household, how we raise our children is we give the why, because we did not like not receiving the why for ourselves, and we felt like it could have avoided a lot of different things knowing the why. So for us, again, you could still, I told you don't touch the stove because it's hot. I gave you the why. Now if you touch that stove and you burn yourself, that's on you. So it's still that tough love, but I gave the explanation. It's not just don't touch the stove because I said so. You get what I'm saying? Like, I gave you the danger, I gave you the risk. If you want to decide to go ahead and continue to touch the stove, knowing what would happen, boom, there's your consequence, immediate, right there.
The shit I've been through, I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you, I said so, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm telling you.
So like,
you fuck around, I promise you, on my mother ashes, you fuck around and go to prison or go to jail, don't expect a fucking visit from me. I promise.
But that's the thing. It's like, okay, so say if they in the Walmart,
you're not getting no money on your books from me.
If they in the Walmart
dime,
and you like, oh, you better not take nothing because I said so, or do you say, hey, don't steal nothing because you'll go to jail and this is how you get, do you give the explanation so then that way they know the consequence? Like, you can't just because I said so, then they go to jail. Oh, well, I ain't doing nothing. Well, you didn't explain to them why they shouldn't do it outside of, because I said so.
I ain't giving no why.
I know better, so just listen to me. Like I don't know. That's just nah.
Like I said, man, I'm very appreciative.
So, okay. There was a poll that says, should you lie to your kids? 66% says yes, 33% said no. Travis says, yeah, big dog, I won't tell you how to raise your kids, but that I said so is terrible. I couldn't. So when I tell you that was a pet peeve, like I would have never did it because my mom probably would have killed me, but I could have like punched my mom teeth out. Like, man, listen, I hated that.
That was your mother's favorite thing.
That's what I said. Right. And I hated that. And I hated that. And I vowed that if I had kids, I would never make them feel like they just don't deserve, they're not worthy of an explanation. If I got to give a fucking boss an explanation, my kids damn sure deserve much more than anybody else on this motherfucking planet from me. I'm going to give them an explanation, period. If I got to explain to this bitch why I got to do X, Y, and Z, my kid deserves an explanation of why for me personally.
People on the chat, despite what you think about me, I thank God that my raising kids days are over. I thank God they're done. Because like I said, I'm looking at the product of what I raised.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at the product of what other people are raising.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God every day. Thank you, son. Thank you, daughters.
Ashley says, remember, Bamboo is from a different generation. All they did was whip our behinds with no reasonings. Yeah.
I know, we had a reason.
They didn't provide one to us. Yes, and so that's what she means.
You didn't fucking listen. And that was you could pick your choice. You can't pick your consequence. If you choose not to listen, you're not going to choose your consequence. You're not. Not in my generation.
Michelle says, but Bamboo, you listened to your dad every time he said something and never wondered why?
Nope. Every time he said something, every time he said, because I said so, that was enough for me. That was a fucking enough. I didn't need a why.
So John says, the why is because I said so. You under my roof and I said what I said.
Thank you, John.
Michelle says, it actually is scientific fact that the kids learn the most between 1 to 6 years of age. And
if you learn not to do shit between 1 and 6 because I said so, You don't
That's
have to
not
worry about me
learning.
cut. You don't
Why?
have to
Like
cut.
that's not learning. That's
You don't
giving
have
an
to worry about me cutting
instruction,
your ass
and
at
that's
7.
following directions. That's not learning. That's
You
just
know,
simply following instructions. That's
it's
it.
crazy. It's crazy, right? Because in this state that I live in, Connecticut, right? You can tell your son, you can say, yo, put that dick in the bag. Don't nut up in nothing because we ain't raising no babies. Don't you know in this state that they can, if he go have a child, that they can put me on child support for that? Yeah, you gonna fucking listen. You're gonna fucking listen because I'm the man of this motherfucking house. I'm the man of this motherfucking family. When you become a man in your house and a man in your motherfucking family, and you can dictate what goes on in your shit. You ain't gonna dictate what goes on in mine.
Now,
Point blank fucking
don't
period.
let's be clear. I'm not saying that children don't have to listen to their parents. So that's not the message that I'm sending out. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, a level of strictness on your child or whatever. I think that there should be balance, yes, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't be strict on your child. What I'm saying is that the why for me matters. That's it. That's all that I'm saying. So anyway, John says the government is not under my roof. The government is not a parent. The government set laws and I set the laws under my roof. But the government does dictate what we can. Okay, the government says how you can discipline your child, like how you can spank your child, or how often you're supposed to feed your child.
What? They can tell me how to whoop them in public, but they ain't tell me how to whoop them at home.
If you whoop them at home, that's not the right way, and a call gets made. Your kids will get taken. It doesn't matter if you whoop them in the house.
And let me let you Jesus. Let me let you people know this real quick. I was in a motherfucking boy's home. Okay. And I promise you, they fucks you up in there. They fucks you up in there. So I promise you, if you think somebody else can raise you better, get the fuck out.
I'm not saying, calm down for you blow a gasket. All that I'm saying is that
cut your ass,
the government,
you go tell the school that I cut your ass. When they come and get you, I will not shed a motherfucking tear. Get the fuck out. Point blank.
So period. Wait, calm down.
And I promise you, when you get to them homes and they cutting your ass in there, don't call me, bitch. Stay where you at. Don't call me.
All that I'm saying, Vim, is that they do dictate on how the different things we have to do with our children or cannot do with our children in and outside of the house. Because if a call gets made, if the neighbor calls and says, hey, I hear a parent beating your child is crying, screaming for help, whatever, the police come out and they come and they see bruising and they see marks and things done in places that the government deemed not appropriate for spanking or disciplining, then you will be in trouble. So therefore, the government does dictate what goes on in your house. If your child says, hey, I didn't eat today or drink today, you will be in trouble. I mean, you got, bread and water you got to at least give them? Okay. If you don't provide at least that, then you're in trouble. So they also do dictate. I mean, for safety reasons, yes, I think that there should be some parameters. I do think that they have too much hands in certain things, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
You're talking about a government.
I'm just saying, don't act like the government don't play a part. That's all I'm saying. They don't play a part.
I promise you, the government don't play a part in this motherfucking house.
Okay.
They don't play a part in here.
All right, so go ahead and start breaking the laws, and we'll see how much part they play.
Shit, like I said. I was born in this motherfucking world by my goddamn self. God didn't even deem fit that I'd be born with a fucking twin. So if you decide to call them fucking people on me, get the fuck out.
It doesn't have to be your child that calls him.
Don't call me when that motherfucker get here. You better tell him, nah, I ain't get no beating.
Yeah. And then they see the bruising and stuff. They don't have to.
First of all,
you will be in trouble. I'm just saying.
First of all, you don't discipline a kid to the point where you don't abuse them. That's just retarded. But what I'm trying to tell you is, man, let me move on, man. Let me move on.
So Travis says, yeah, you listen to your parent because they said so, but that doesn't mean a why wouldn't help and better for both parties. And that's exactly what I'm saying.
Let's get this clear. No. Let's get this clear. I'm not saying at some point or another I might not I might not give a why at some point or another. I'm just saying, don't feel like you're entitled to it because you're not. Because I said so should be a fucking enough. That's why. But go on ahead, man. Go on, move. Man, Lord
Ashley
Jesus.
says, wrong, John. The government is absolutely your parent.
They ain't my parent.
They might be your roof. Oh, they might not be your roof, but they definitely the land you sleep on. They definitely don't tell you why. You just listen to them.
I mean,
you do. They take taxes. You can't do shit about it. If they raise the percentage, you can't do shit about it. And
I get my shit back.
It doesn't. You still pay taxes. You only get it back if you qualify for those deductions. That's
I'm gonna
whatever. I'm not even gonna go here. I'm not even gonna do it. Michelle says that's very disgusting, bamboo property. So now we being treated like slaves again. Exactly.
Your children.
My children are not my property. My children are not property. Humans are not property.
If something goes wrong, just listen. If something goes wrong, they are not coming looking for your child.
Right. But my children are my responsibility. They're not my property. My child didn't ask to be here. I brought them here. So you damn right they're going to be my responsibility. They're my responsibility, but they're not my property. I don't own them. And that's why they have rights and feelings and protections and stuff too, because they're not property. They're not objects.
So when people say, who kids are these? I want you to say, oh no, they're not my children. They're property.
No, those are mine because they came from me, but they're not my property.
They say that they're yours. That means that they're yours. Yours is property.
Whose children are those? Those are my children because they came from my DNA and my husband's DNA. Children. That doesn't make them my property. Just like, oh, that's my mom. That's my grandmother. That's my aunt. Why? Because of blood relation. That doesn't mean that I'm their property or they're my property.
They're my property. They're my property. They belong to me. And when they walk out of here, they better act like they fucking belong to me. And so, goddamn right. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm telling you, that's the problem with the world today. You give these motherfucking kids too much leniency and too much explanations. That's the fucking problem with they stupid dumbass today. Because I'm telling you, y'all give them way too much leniency. Way too much.
What does that have to do with explaining why, though? That's not lenient.
Because they're not entitled to why.
The thing is this: you can give a why and still enforce 100% of what you're trying to enforce.
If I choose to give a why, you right, I will give you one. But if you're not entitled to one, I told you so is enough. Point blank fucking period.
Okay, so like I said, I just don't believe in operating in that slave mentality. I just don't.
And you know the crazy part about this? The crazy part about it is I've already raised you guys. So now I can just see what the product of that's going to turn out to be.
I guess so.
Jesus is Lord.
Let's see. So John says the government is not a parent. Michelle says, John, how can you? The government isn't. John says the government is an entity that set laws and enforce them. Michelle says, don't parents set rules and enforce them also? I don't think it's just, again, I think it's just a generational thing, and it's just going to be, no, it's not. John. No, because again, parents set rules and enforce them the same way that government is, but you guys are trying to keep it separate, and it's not separate. You guys are doing the same thing, but wouldn't like it if it was done to you. That's what we're saying. But anyway, Ashley said, just because you said so, don't help them stay out of jail. Exactly. John says the government has a role in maintaining order and protecting rights. It should not overstep its bounds by acting as a paternalistic authority in the lives of its citizens. But then you're trying to not let your child be human and I don't know. For me, it's just the logic behind it. Yeah,
nobody's saying he or she is not human.
But you're not treating them as such. You don't have to say it. Your actions are speaking louder than words.
We're just saying that you are not entitled to a why I said something.
So then why do you feel like, I'm entitled to, if I'm married, to have sex with my wife? I'm entitled to carry a gun if I'm American. I'm entitled. You're not entitled to shit either.
First of all, that's a whole nother conversation because I'm not entitled to have sex with my wife. At any time, she could say no, but I'll find me somebody to fuck me. That's point blank, period.
That's all right. So anyway,
That's
so
common
Travis
goddamn
says,
sense.
Travis says the world going to treat them a lot worse. That's correct. But knowing why won't make the world less easier on them. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, Michelle said that stop it. He's just set in his way, and that's what it is.
I'm not setting my way. Like I said, and I promise you, this is gonna be the last time I say it. This is gonna be the last time I say it. I swear for Lord, this is gonna be the last time I say it. I'm not saying that not to give them a why at some point or another. I'm just saying they are not entitled to it.
So is your boss entitled to a why?
Hold on.
Is your boss entitled to a why?
Talking about?
Is your boss entitled to a why?
I promise you, I'm the wrong nigga to be asking.
I'm asking if your boss says, "Hey, Bamboo, from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, where were you or why weren't you on time for your route? Whatever. Are they entitled to an explanation? Yes or no?"
Absolutely not.
So you just say, "Oh well, don't worry about it," and that's it. And you think you keep your job?
No. And it's funny you say that because that's happened to me before. All that technology you got on this bus, what you talking to me for? You got all that technology on this bus. What you asking me
if the technology was down or before the technology, before they installed it on the bus or whatever, and they're asking why, are they entitled to a why, to an explanation?
That and anybody that if I wish somebody was in the chat that worked with me and they'll tell you my explanation for that is I'm late because I'm late. That's that. What the fuck are you talking about?
So, and if they wanted to terminate you because of that, you'll be okay with that?
No, at one point in time I was union.
Because at the end of the day,
you cannot.
You're doing work, like you're showing up. If you say, "Hey, I'm gonna be out," you have to call out what? "Oh, I'm sick," or "I'm taking a vacation." You're giving a why. So your job, who don't give a fuck about you, is entitled to all these whys, whether you want to admit it or not. Saying, "Oh, well, I ain't gonna tell them." Well, tell them, figure it out. Technology, whatever the case may be. And maybe it's because you work for a union and union workers just are whatever. But the whole point,
when I was calling out,
the whole point is you're gonna give them a why. One way or another, they're getting a why at some point or another.
You already know why I'm not coming to work. You already know why I'm not coming to work. I'm not coming to work because I'm not coming to work.
No, when you call out, you're saying, "Hey, I'm gonna take a sick day," or "Hey, I'm gonna take a personal day. I'm gonna take a PTO. I'm gonna take a vacation day." You're giving a why when you're calling out. So if my thing is this, if these people, companies, or whatever that don't give a fuck about you is worthy or can get whys, why can't my offspring? This is my blood. This is my legacy. You deserve a why, an explanation before anybody else. That's just kind of. But anyway,
it's funny how you trying to compare your children to your job.
Well, you're comparing them. I mean, what else? You're saying inmates, they got to do what I say, how I say, when I say. Like, I mean, come on. My children is not getting compared to none of what I'm saying is my children is above all that. So if I have to give anything underneath that, explanations, then damn sure my kid is going to get the best of the best. And that's just what it is. And the best that I can offer, if it's just an explanation, then baby, I'm going to give you an explanation.
Okay.
And that's just what it is. So, okay. John says it all comes down to education and communication. But at the time I tell you no, it's no. And don't ask me why. At the time I tell you, we can communicate about it later. And so that's another thing too, is like, when I want to, if I have questions, I'm not deserving of having a conversation when I want to have a conversation. But if you say, "Okay, no, we'll talk about it later." Okay. So if you want to talk about it later, then at that time, the child doesn't want to talk about it. Now they're forced to talk about it because you're ready to talk about it. Why can't they be deserving of the same respect that they don't want to talk about it right now?
Listen, you don't want to, I promise you,
I'm just asking.
You don't want to be living in this house that I live in. Because if I call your name, you better find me. And I'm going to tell you, if this house go on fire and I call your name, I'm not coming looking for you. I am not. I called you, come find me. You guys, I'm telling you, you guys are giving these kids way too much sense of entitlement. Way too much. Way too much.
And it could be, you know what? And I'm not gonna lie, it could be that they're given so much, but it's because it's like this. When you go through so much trauma, you want to make sure that your child never experiences. So it goes from one extreme to the other because you got it so bad that you don't want your child to ever experience it, so that it's hard to create that balance and it should be in the middle. All the way on the far one side, all the way on the far other side, neither is going to be the ideal situation. In the middle is what's going to be ideal. But because of the way it was beat into us and we got in trouble for thinking and whatever else, it just traumatized us into not wanting to carry that on into our next.
Trouble for not listening. That's what
again,
you got in trouble for.
We're human. We have questions. That's just human nature.
Ain't nobody ever just walk up to you with a belt and start whooping your ass. You know what I'm saying? Nobody.
Well, actually, if I said, how come or why, and I got slapped, that is for no reason, and that's no reason. If I just not in a disrespectful way, but like, why? That's not disrespectful. It's asking a question. That's not worthy of getting hit. But anyway, Ashley says, Michelle, like you said, these older dudes just stuck in their ways. John says that's the problem with the kids today. Sorry, I'm not telling anyone how to raise their kids, but it's a problem. Travis says government is your daddy, Bamboo. They take money from all of us and we can't do nothing about it. Yep. And Mika said, word, Bam. Michelle said, that's the problem, John. You say these kids today, but you forget you guys raised them. So, and then John says, I'm with Bamboo 100%. Ashley says, no one ever said entitled. We literally just saying what's wrong with saying why, shaking my head. Valerie said this, you are not required by law to give an explanation for late or absence.
Thank you.
See, the thing is this, they have this thing that's called at will, right? So then you start doing funny shit, then all of a sudden you're unemployed because it's at will and I don't got to give you a reason. And then you want to know why you got fired and all this and that, whatever.
True. That's not true.
But
coming from I used to be a union rep. Coming from a union rep.
Right, but this is what I'm saying, because you're union workers and it's different. So it might not be in your union contract.
They cannot.
So here's the thing. When I take time off from work, being a non-union worker, I don't have to. What I do is I pick from the pool. If this is my sick time, I pull from the sick time. If this is from my vacation time, I pull from the vacation time. So even if I'm not physically telling them what it is, I'm telling them what it is by where I'm pulling the pool from. And that's just it. And you go ahead and you keep, if you don't have no time and you're just gonna be absent and you won't say nothing. Those are called no call, no shows. Right. So if you're saying, I don't have to give an explanation if I'm gonna be late or if I'm absent, you go ahead and you keep being late. You're gonna fuck around and be unemployed. Y'all keep playing whatever game y'all want to play. Oh, well, technically I'm entitled to this. Okay. Technically it's at will and they don't have to have a reason at all to terminate you and let you go. Now, again, these glorified union workers that may not know how to actually work, the same ones that saying they don't deserve their kids don't deserve to say why. Don't say they can't explain or let their job know they're gonna be late.
Hold on.
What?
Don't do that.
Don't do what? Don't do what?
Union workers that don't know how to work.
Don't do
that.
I said glorified union workers that act like they don't know how to work.
We know how to work.
But I don't want to. So you're saying entitled. But you're entitled.
No. It's not that we don't want to work. It's the fact that you're going to treat us a certain way while we're working.
Because you think you're entitled to, but your kid is not entitled to the same treatment, right?
You know what? That's your raggedy fucked up state. What are you talking about? That's Connecticut too. Connecticut is an at-will state. It is not. Connecticut
is an at-will state.
You have to have a reason to let them go.
You don't have to have it. Connecticut is an at-will state.
You cannot just walk up to them and tell them they fired. You cannot.
You can say, hey, you're laid off.
Connecticut, and you still going to pay them because they're going to collect workman's comp.
That's fine. Not workman's comp. It's unemployment.
But that's unemployment.
You're still out of a job whether you collected unemployment or not.
No, because they can collect unemployment for six months. What are you talking about?
That's still unemployed. That's how you're able to get unemployment because, bitch, you ain't got no job.
I feel you. Go ahead, man.
You
motherfuckers kill me. You motherfuckers kill me.
So Travis says, LOL, you definitely said you're entitled to have sex with wifey on stream. See, this is what I'm glad you're listening. You're listening. Crystal says, Bam, I feel the heat through his phone. He's hot. He is hot.
Your wife makes a choice during You asking her for sex. She makes
You
a
said
choice.
you're
She
entitled
makes it.
to sex with your spouse.
I married her. What the fuck are you
See,
talking
that doesn't
about?
mean, and I told you it doesn't
So
matter
you
if
know-
you're married,
you
you're not
know-
entitled to anything.
Man, that's for another damn podcast, man.
So,
You know that being married, that sex is part of being married. If I'm not, ain't nobody got to fuck me. Ain't nobody got to fuck me.
you
I
said
promise
you're
you.
entitled to your
That's
wife's.
what- like
but
I said,
you know what? I'm not.
Ain't nobody got to fuck me. That's why they got side chicks. You ain't got to fuck me.
That's
you ain't got to
that's
do
your
nothing.
business. That's your
You ain't got
business.
to do nothing.
So John says,
you sit there and think you entitled to just a check. You entitled to me coming home. That's it.
okay.
That's it.
And so John says, when
You don't
the
want
kids
this
is
war.
paying the bills under this roof of mine, and then he said, "Dash, you getting my blood pressure up, laughing my ass off." Listen,
My blood pressure high.
I gotta
too.
make sure. Listen, we gotta make sure y'all still living, right? We
My
gotta make
blood
sure the
pressure
blood
high.
is strong, getting to the heart pumping. We might as well hook y'all up to the EKG. Make sure y'all still good, baby. This is good for the blood. This is why
Listen.
y'all still kicking.
Listen, and I know this is off topic, but I like to give a shout out to Reverend Gamble, because during our marital counseling before marriage, he made sure he made my wife aware that you cannot use sex as a weapon. So big shout out to John Gamble.
So
Big shout out to John. Love you, man.
Travis
Appreciate
says,
you.
LOL. John, Valerie says you can call, but do not have to offer an explanation. Oh, it's not. Well, I don't know where you are, Valerie, but it ain't. From my knowledge, in most states, it's not, oh, you can call. Is you have to notify them that you're not going to be there, because
you don't have to tell them why you're not going to be there.
After 3 consecutive days of no calls, no show, that's job abandonment, and you're terminated just off that alone. You can't just disappear without a single word to your company and think you're still going to have a job after days in a row. You, at some point, you're going to have to communicate. You're going to have to communicate, and that's just what it is. But anyway, Travis says, my pops is a union electrician, hard worker. He definitely be feeling entitled. And the thing is, I'm not saying that. I'm not, because it's true. Entitled. That's what it is.
We are not.
I'm not saying that,
So
like, you literally, I'm not saying that you literally don't work hard, right? Like, in terms of you ain't busting your butt every day. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, the extra frills, like, oh, well, I need my extra time. All this extra stuff. Just go to work. Just go to work. Do your job. Stop dragging stuff out. Stop. Just do your work.
You're mad because we're protected.
Go ahead. I'm not mad.
Trump.
I'm not mad. Trust and believe, I'm not mad. I am not mad, because some unions is shitty too. And then you still got to pay them. So I'm not mad. I'm good. If I wanted to work for a union, I'd be working for a union. I chose not to. So let's see. Michelle says, keep raising John's and Bamboo's blood pressure. LOL. Ashley said, I need to be a union worker. Got it. No, you need to be a union worker for the right union. The right union. Not all unions are created equal. So
you get a contract, and don't get me wrong, with a contract, I promise you, to get something, you got to give something. But whatever you give, make sure that they live up to their expectations. Live up to that contract. Point blank, period. If they say that, 1963 took a bus from the train station to the yard, I'm entitled for 2 hours of work for that little 15 minutes.
Oh, entitled. You're not entitled.
I'm entitled to it because that's what the contract states.
Right. You see how, but you want all these liberties and entitlements, but your child doesn't deserve a basic, simple explanation.
That's what the contract states. The contract states, if you bring a bus from here to here while you're off, you're entitled to 2 hours. That's what the contract states. What do you want me to do? Be like, oh, well, it only took me 5 minutes? No, I'm gonna get what I'm entitled to.
See, that's the part of the lazy side I'm talking about right there.
That's not
if
lazy.
It only takes you 5 minutes, all right, take 20, but you want to take the whole 2 hour. That's right there. That's But anyway, So anyway, Michelle says, "LOL." Word of the day: entitled. Right, and it's entitled when it benefits him, but his children have no entitlements, no rights. They're property.
They got no right asking me why. Fuck you mean why? When you pick your damn teeth up out that goddamn ground, you fucking asking me why. Hey,
That's
listen,
really crazy.
Listen,
we done heated him up. We done heated him up this episode.
You guys,
I had another little spin to go with this topic, but we done dragged it. It's time to go.
No.
So I'll ask it on the next live.
Like the Jamaicans say, done it done. You're done. Done it done.
So I'm gonna save that because we don't want him, having a stroke or a heart attack now.
It's not it ain't a stroke. It's not a stroke. It ain't a heart attack. Like I said, we come from two different generations. We absolutely do. We come from two
traumatized generations.
We come from two different upbringings. You know what I'm saying? And we already seen what the facts is on my upbringing and our upbringing. It's yet to see what you're bringing up.
Well, apparently, y'all, we gotta see how it is. And like I said, I don't think that this is all the answers. I think that it needs to be in the middle, but because people are so traumatized, it's hard to get it to the middle. And so that's what's just the product of what we're seeing. And so it's already been proven that Yahweh is not good either. So, I mean, we're seeing now that this way, like being too extreme on the other end may not be it, but we just got to be in the middle. But, because y'all raised us this way. Y'all scarred us and damaged us this way.
We raised y'all. We did a damn good job. What you
talking about? Y'all talk shit every chance y'all get. So y'all didn't do a good job. Y'all not even happy with your own work.
Man,
y'all not even y'all complain the most about everything, bro. About everything. Y'all not even pleased with y'all own work. Then y'all be like, oh, well, you don't think y'all don't work hard. Y'all don't this. Y'all don't that. Y'all don't this. Well, nigga, you ain't teach us how to do shit, but just listen. Just shut up and dribble.
Yeah. We did the best that we can. But listen,
anyway,
3 o'clock come quick. I love you.
Ashley says, still love me and boo. Yeah. Travis says, bro, someone said it here. You raised us. Yeah, and did. Yeah. And John said, yes, we did. Michelle says, old and bitter.
And you guys are good people. The point I'm trying to make
is we're good people.
You're good people, but you're varying from the script. So now, yeah, you're varying from the script. So now y'all decided y'all want to do what y'all want to do. So now we gonna see what's the fruit of y'all labor. That's it.
We'll see.
We the one. We don't listen. Hold on, let me just say this to
subscribe if you haven't already done so, guys.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Share this. I'm sorry. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Let me just say this before I go, and let me look in the camera.
Right, Michelle said, "Raise murderers, but good people." A walking contradiction. Period. Valerie says, "Being boo, you are the greatest."
Let me look in this camera and let me just say this real quick to my people of my generation. People of my generation. Please do not feel sorry for the things that you have done to your children. You have raised your children to be who they are. Now that they are raising what you call your grandchildren, that's their responsibility. So it is okay to fade the fuck back and let them raise their children.
Y'all already too far faded back. Don't send that message out because these grandparents ain't grandparenting.
Please don't interrupt my Jerry Springer moment.
Y'all not grandparenting. Y'all outside. Y'all need to have a seat and babysit these kids.
No. Who babysit who? The fuck out of here. We gave y'all our 20s. We're not giving y'all our 30s.
First of all, grandmas, no. Our grandparents had us
like I said,
while y'all was outside and y'all still trying to be outside. Sit down somewhere and raise these kids so we can be outside too.
Like I said, we raised our children. I would like to applaud each and every one of us. We did a great job. They have chosen. They have chosen.
But you raised murderers. You said murderers and serial killers.
They have chosen to vary from the script. Let them people be. Live your life. Go on cruises, like an honor.
With y'all grandbabies.
No, fuck them. Go on cruises and enjoy your life. You gave your kids your 20s, your 30s, and some of your 40s. Live your life. Fuck them kids. You ain't got to babysit. That's they kids. That's their problem. If they wanted to be in the club, they shouldn't let the nigga nut up in them.
Oh wow.
Point blank. Period. So
why you didn't have that? Why you didn't have that same for yourself?
Who? I was with my kids all the time. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
So your mom never kept your kids?
My mom?
Well, all right. Your mom is a little different.
My mom?
Your mom is a little different.
Please. My
So
mom,
okay.
my mom was a wonderful woman, but no, she never babysat my children. No, I was always with my children, always. And anybody that knows me knows that. Always with my children.
So Valerie says, wait, what does? Michelle says, good night, I'm done. LOL. Carl
Me
said,
too.
F them grandbabies. Mika
Fuck
said,
them
we're the
grandkids.
best. Listen,
Yeah, listen,
it's
we did
crazy.
hey, people of my generation, we did our job. Our job is done.
It may not
Now
have
it's
been
time.
well, but y'all pulled
Now
through.
it's time. Now it's time for us to rest and let them go through their trauma and their turmoils. Let them go through their shit. And mind your fucking business. Don't worry about how they raising their children. That's their children. Mind your fucking business. Go on cruising. Go to Africa. I got an aunt named Barbara that live in Georgia. She go on cruises all the time. Live your life like Barbara. That's
So
all I
El
can say.
Hermano says, I'm late to the party. Parents should not lie to their kids. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
man,
late. So catch it. You're gonna have to catch it on a relive. I mean on a rewatch.
TJ.
But
TJ.
we are wrapping up this episode here. I'm glad you came though. Good to see you.
Yeah, glad
but we're wrapping this up, and that's gonna be it for this episode. So next Wednesday, but we're gonna potentially have a pop-up or two in between time. So we'll just turn your notifications on.
Well, listen, you might have a pop-up and it might just be with Des only, because I got a busy week coming ahead, and after that, my birthday is after that, and I ain't fucking with nobody. I don't fuck with nobody on my birthday.
So anyway,
no, I'm saying I'm gonna be doing me. So yeah,
his old ass gonna be right in the house. Carl says on this subject, down with Bamboo 100%.
Thank you, Carl. Love you, bro. Love you, John.
On that note,
Mika, love you.
It has been real. Thank you guys for chiming in and being so vocal and sharing your opinion, whether we agreed or disagreed or not. It's all love, and we can learn from each other. And again, thank you for being here on this Tuesday night with us. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And we will see you guys later. Oh, Travis says, you don't love me now, bro. Crazy.
Of course I love Trav. Of course I love Trav. I love all of you guys.
Right,
I really do.
Right.
Whether you agree with me or not. That's why the show is called
Matter of Opinions. Yes. In case you guys didn't catch it, that's why it's MADDER, because sometimes you get mad when you share your opinion. Yeah, so but yeah,
we played with words.
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, if I offended anybody, I don't give a fuck. Get over it. The name of the show is what it's called, Matter of Opinions. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's everybody's opinions, but it's still all love.
We're not going to always agree on everything, but as long as we agree on some things.
Right.
That's all that counts. So with that being said, we're going to give y'all the red button. Love you guys. I love everybody. If I forgot your name, get over it. But I still love you. Goodbye. Subscribe. Hit him with the red button, Des.
Not Des. Get it fucking right. Red button.
Hit him with the red button. You know, you hit the red button yet?
Nope. What?
Nah.
All right, red button, guys.
Nah. You ain't doing that. Nope.